Oh, back at it with another one, man. To the Big Homie Show. Real talk, make real change, man. I got special guests in the building, man. Richard, Richard. Hey. No problem, man. Let everybody know what you got going on.
Hey, my name is Richard Franklin. I'm running for Birmingham City Council, District 9.
District 9.
Yes, sir.
And got Lonnie.
Lonnie Malone running for Birmingham Council, District 7.
Hey. And I also got Cody P in the building, co-host.
What's up? How y'all doing? Again and again and again.
So back at it, like on a platform like this, man, you can express your ideas. And you know, most of the audience want to know, like, when city council come, what can we do to make Birmingham better, the communities better?
But first, I would say you have to have unity. I think I'll give an example. You just saw, I think it was last night, Hoover, Fox 6 did a live with their whole council, everybody running for council.
Right.
And I watched it in amazement because what they did, they didn't just, they had their districts, but they broke off and they were talking about the future of Hoover and what could be done. I often look at Birmingham, and one of the reasons I'm running is we break ourselves off in districts, and when you see Hoover building 5,000 houses, right. And we always talk about a housing crisis, but it's by district instead of an overall plan. I think, especially on the western side of Birmingham, when you see District 6, District 7, District 8, and District 9, these are the distressed areas, then portions of the north, but it's the old north, and I'm talking about the new north side they're creating.
Right. I got a question, though. I don't know. Why is, like, we move out in the communities, and you get a different race of people, like, basically just come in. No problem, build up a community less than a year. And we fighting and leaving the community. I'm trying to see what are we doing wrong as people.
Sometimes you don't realize what we have, man. Our homes are built by people who really knew how to build homes, You think about it, Ensley, West End, all these houses, they're old, but they sturdy. Ain't no difference in Woodlawn and all those, because they're same basic houses.
Right.
But they come in and they come in and invest in themselves. I heard a student one day, she was in private school, and she said, I want to thank my parents for investing in me, because it pays to go to private school. We got to come in and invest. You got to have that vision.
So, when it comes like on vision stuff, would y'all have to go towards the mayor to get stuff done, like just simple stuff like get the grass cut, most communities and stuff, get the roads fixed on the roads and stuff?
The job of a city council is to advocate, legislate, pass a balanced budget. That's it. Like a state rep, they just passed 2 budgets, school and the general. That's all they have to do. The mayor, it's the mayor's job. Right. Now we advocate for pothole, grass, such and such, whatever the community wants.
Right.
So I'm gonna go even further.
Yeah.
I think when we talk on that, a lot of people to connect is that you see a budget being passed every year, and how much is it, Lonnie, to pay one street with
$1 million for a mile.
So Birmingham put in $15 or $16 million. So one of the issues, because I've had somebody ask me, what would you do different? I vote no on the budget. Because when you're listening and you're living and you're seeing what you see, you're seeing that these resources need to be reallocated somewhere else. And it's dealing with infrastructure. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, at some point, we're going to have to deal with infrastructure. And the mayor, I've been the union president for 16 years. And I often tell people, even though the Mayor Council Act changed, the school board has never had power to do what the council used to be able to do. But I've seen school boards, I'm just going to make the joke, it's the truth. Birmingham was the laughing stock. They would fire a superintendent in a minute because that was the authority that the school board had. But what I would also watch them do is they would vote no. So one of the issues I've seen is that the council is just voting for everything and coming up with every excuse. But it's just like with anybody. If you see that as an issue, that's your role. That's what people elect you to do. So you can get any mayor's, any leader's attention by voting no, but they actually just been voting unanimously on a lot of things. So you think about the grass cutting. You know, for 4 years, everybody was complaining about it. And they said the city's not in the grass. And they created this whole narrative. That's the way I view it. And then all of a sudden, we say, hey, it's an emergency. No, it's an election season. Grass been high.
$3 million.
I mean, and the part that I thought was sad was that nobody even just said it. Not that they had to vote against it, but just to say what I'm saying. That's the thing that I think we're missing. And let's just be honest, absolute power corrupts anybody. So you need people sitting there, I would say especially in my district. Really, projects have not been finished. I said this last night. People don't realize in North Birmingham in 2012, they closed North Birmingham School. That building has been vacant. And because it was dealing with federal dollars, all of a sudden, you know, they started saying, hey, what's going on? It's election season. Well, they're going to get to work on it in 2028. North Birmingham has been distressed. We don't need to be waiting to 2028. Pratt City, one Pratt Park. Let's be honest. I'm just going to be straightforward. The Pratt City before the tornado hit was bad. It looked bad. So the tornado, the FEMA was supposed to put more money, but the city didn't match it. So one Pratt Park, if you go out there, it's not finished. So that's one of the things I'm telling you, we have to finish. And I have to get our people to understand and have hope that Crestwood and Avondale, about 15 to 16 years ago when I worked with the city, guess what? They were in distress, but they reinvested in Avondale Park and Crestwood Park, and then you saw those communities blow up. So it can start with a park, and I often tell people the other example, if I ask everybody sitting here from 2019 to 2023, what was the fastest growing neighborhood in Birmingham? What would y'all think?
I was Avondale.
I don't know.
Wow.
Well,
Wow. I know what I thought there.
oh,
Wow.
yeah, really? Because they got it. School built over.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing we did, they built the school when the neighborhood was in distress. And I have to give a shout out to, at the time, former board member Phyllis Wine. She had a vision. Even though the numbers weren't there, they were getting ready to close the library. And she said, if we build this school, then you saw the school be built, you saw the library be built, then you saw the investment in the park. Now the park still didn't have lights, they have one of the top Little League football teams, but you see that those things still attract families.
Right.
Yeah, Wyland does look much better.
Yeah.
One thing I want to commend y'all both on is coming together in a forum. And one of my biggest disconnects as an undecided citizen, as I've talked about many times, is people coming together. One thing you touched on, Richard and Lonnie, me and you talked about this before, is the control situation. If there is a situation where it's something that your constituents are opposed to, that comes up, and the mayor is really pushing the city council, because obviously I know the mayor, he's always going to politic for what he wants, or she's going to politic for what she wants. If you are against it, Richard, if you're against it, Lonnie, would you go to your other city council members and say, hey, look, we got to get these 5 votes to actually stop this thing, or we got to get X amount of votes to actually stop this? Would you guys do your own politicking on your end to stop, especially if it's going to be something that's going to hurt your constituents or hurt the city as a whole?
We'll speak through the proper channels, the way that it's a process to talk to each other. But if a politician is not doing that, he just up there holding the seat. You know what I mean?
Right.
You got to get out there and go and make those deals. They wanted to, a lot of people don't know, they wanted to shut down Legion Field.
They sure did.
And Legion Field, the last 5 years, brought over $100+ million of economic impact. But you want to shut it down to make a parking lot.
So y'all both are saying here today,
Yeah.
y'all have no problem with being objective to whoever the mayor is.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
You can be in that court.
Okay.
And let me piggyback and go further on something y'all talking about. I think that's been a part of the problem.
Exactly.
The disconnect in the community. We're elected by our districts and our people, and then when projects come, I see a lot of the projects just, the city brings it to the neighborhood, and the neighborhood says no, and it's still done. I feel out of respect for every council person, if it's in your district and you say, I tell Lonnie right now, we both on the council, and if something come into District 7 and Lonnie constituents say no, I'm gonna advocate with District 7 saying no because that's what the people want and that's what the council person is saying. And I think that's part of our role. But I also think it's another piece that we've been doing, to me, that's been hurting the West of 65 bunch. They do a lot of entertaining things. And we build things and we say it's progress, but those of us who live in our communities, we don't see it. Like when he talked about Legion Field, the Classic, let's say it makes $26 million. One of the things I've often thought about is that why have we not invested at least 1% in Smithfield? Now, and I want people to understand that they're using the choice grant, but that's federal dollars. And I think ahead. I'm one of those people that think ahead. We see that President Trump is messing with it. So if you didn't have that and we have the resources on our own, why are we not investing in our communities? And I just feel like we have a lot of things that we can control as government. And to me, Birmingham is actually, to me, being used a lot. If you think about the amphitheater, protective stadium, we don't own it.
So Birmingham don't own none of that.
No.
They don't get
So,
taxes. They don't even pay taxes in those places. Jefferson County
So
don't.
they'll get no profit out there.
And I
You
think
get taxed.
like small, but it's not what we get at Legion Field. Like the reason Legion Field, we own it. We own Rickwood.
Right.
But we don't own the land. We
Well,
own
yeah,
the
we-
stadium.
So we make all the money. That's why, when the Classic does that one event,
Right.
we don't have to share it.
So we need to start doing more events at Legion Field to revenue money. Just have Mad City Classic. We could have they could have redid Legion Field to make it to a dome stadium and have like other little things coming down there and stuff.
Commissioner Scales was in office. She said then it would take $31 million to fix Legion Field. Nobody else said anything else about it, right? Remember when we was paying all those taxes on that sewage? The bank, what is it, JP or whatever bank it was, all they had to do was suspend their license for one day. It would have wiped that debt away.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things going on with the banks. Like, what is it, CRA, community something?
Yeah.
Resource.
Community Reinvestment Act.
Yeah, so, but if Bank A is in Birmingham, Bank A is in Compton, all they gotta do something is in Compton, they ain't gotta do nothing you get what I'm saying? Even though they supposed to spend money with us.
Right.
Birmingham is a multi-billion-dollar business. Don't just think of that $500 million budget that we got now.
Right.
There's four budgets total.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money come through here, and that we shouldn't have to be where we are now.
Right.
If Hoover is smaller than Birmingham, correct?
Exactly.
So why does Hoover look better?
That's a lot of small towns like Town, all these small cities.
Iredale got it going on.
You see them parks and all these things going around?
Yeah.
But you play, right? Where you're happy where you play at. You stay, right? You eat, you play, you go to church, you go to work, whatever you can do. When you find your house, you say, man, I'm so many minutes from where my job is. I'm so many minutes from my church. We got places we can go eat. We got places where our kids feel safe. That's when you buy your house or rent, whatever you do. Where do you do that in Birmingham on the west side of town? Right where we are now is one of the biggest economic impacts, bigger than
Yes.
Avondale, all those over there.
Right.
But you saw what had happened when they had a vision. We don't have a vision over here.
We didn't finish the crossplex.
Yeah. You got the crossplex right there. Look at all what you can do. The kids can't even go play in there. Go to Bessemer though. They got that big pool down there for $5 a month.
Oh yeah, it's free.
You see what I'm
It's
saying?
$5 a month, and they ain't much. Even got to Santa Cruz, you just come pay the $5 and put your name on. You ain't got to do all that other stuff.
So why we can't do that at the crossplex?
One thing I want to ask
Is it
y'all.
it's Crossplex is Birmingham making money off the Crossplex?
They making
yeah.
money off 280
yeah.
over there. That's Birmingham.
Oh yeah.
It
big
make money.
You
You know what I'm
It
saying?
can bring a lot of money to Birmingham. A lot of different people from different places come here and they spend money. Yeah, that's him.
Track, all these schools come. That's
Hotel stay packed.
a beautiful facility.
So why we can't use that money to invest into our communities?
Nobody's ever advocated for it.
Let me ask you a question. Name one mayor that has come to the west side of town and said, this is what we're going to do for the west side of Birmingham. Think about that.
That's what they need to do, because like if you want to have stuff here, you want to have Birmingham attract the city. They get out of town people to come in to even want to buy here or do anything here. Like I always say, I go into other big cities. The city make money off the tourist people. I'm in New Orleans. Everybody making business strides off tourist people coming in because it's an attractive city. If everything wore down here in Birmingham, it's not attractive. People just ride by and pass by.
We got shipping
Yeah.
in Ansley.
Yeah. Yeah, Birmingham. Yeah, I know something else that we don't do the civil rights movement. When in my job, when I travel, I mean, I've been overseas. I remember going to Latvia in Denmark, and one of the ladies said that I think it was Latvia said that when she found out I was from Birmingham, she started crying and said they watched our civil rights movement and it inspired them to become their own sovereign nation.
Right.
So I came back here and was like, man, she didn't ask me was I rich, was I poor. I just said Birmingham, Alabama, and that's the power that just Birmingham, Alabama. That's it. People come here and we need to expand all of that. You know, to attract and make money. You know, and then you need to invest in your neighborhoods. That's something that I don't understand when I think about Hoover. They building 5,000 houses. I think about Fultondale, Gardendale, Hewitttown, McCalla. If you just think about those areas, they invest in things that we fight investing in.
I got a question. These small cities, how the hell they get money? And they don't have that
Taxes.
activities
Taxes.
coming in there, so they just get money off taxes.
Well,
How much a house costs in Hoover?
Ooh,
Or better yet, how much taxes are up in Hoover? Look at the businesses.
yeah.
okay, I see what you mean.
You get what I'm saying?
Right,
It's
So if you look at our budget, I'll take an example, the school system. If you look at what they invest in education and what we invest, and it's not just Birmingham. We have an urban problem around the country. Most of your urban cities are where you have big business and their budgets are huge. Like Birmingham budget is bigger than Montgomery, Mobile, and Huntsville. So we're the economic engine for everybody. But the issue is that we allow outside people to tell us where we're gonna put our money. So they tell us we're gonna build an amphitheater, and it's gonna be this group project. We're gonna work together regionally. Well, what are they doing to ever build something that benefits us? You know, Hoover's not gonna build something that's gonna benefit the whole region. They're gonna make sure it benefits Hoover. And I love Birmingham, and I think that's what we got to start being selfish when it comes to us.
why do we need an amphitheater? They had one in Oak Mountain, right? So why do we need one?
I thought they were trying to bring trash to the north side. To my knowledge, I don't think people seeing it. They're trying to build up the north side again. They can bring like the cottage students and stuff. All them houses they doing, they go fund them
But
to like
Ansley, the District 9 and District 4 was supposed to be in the hot spots this time. I don't know what happened in 9. But 4, that's why they building up over there now.
Right. What about the downtown area? Downtown Ansley area? They still district? What district?
That's District 9. That's my district.
What happened to the building over there?
Ramsey McCormick.
Yeah.
So you don't say, I don't know if you've watched. I was born in 1981. In 1983, the city of Birmingham purchased Ramsey McCormick for $1. And my great-grandmother was one of the first African-American women where the volcano sit. She had a beauty salon. When we were growing up, Ansley was booming. The only building that was vacant was Ramsey McCormick. I'm 44 years old. Y'all, that's insane to me to watch that the only building that was bad growing up, now all of those buildings, that whole area has been economic deprived. But I also understand in budgets, if we got every elected official during that time, they would say, well, we're allocating money for this.
Right.
At some point, we have to say, this doesn't make sense. Ramsey McCormick building is torn down. And I've said it, and I make no bones about it. If they don't start building something before I get in, we're going to put a historic plaque up there, and we can reinvest that money in downtown Ansley with the business owners, the Pratt City area. All of that area has been suffering. There's even an old fire station where my great-grandmother would shut down the beauty salon for people to vote. It's just sitting there.
Police station too. It's an old police station. Old Birmingham police station. It's empty.
Somebody got it now.
Yeah.
Somebody got it?
Yeah. So I'm big on plans. I think that's the other thing. If you talk to people from Hoover, if you go back and watch their forum, we don't plan a lot. We like every person running for council and mayor. We should all be able to sit in the room and discuss what we think Birmingham needs to go, and put the egos aside.
Amen.
Because when we, for example, crime, you know, they get into the blame game, but me and Lonnie, a lot of us talk about growing up in Birmingham, it was things that we had for kids to do. That was the city responsibility. We don't have it anymore. Why? So if we know that kids, when they get out of school, and we know they're going into potentially bad situations, what does the city offer them to do? We have to stop creating this narrative that they don't, because Fultondale does, Gardendale does, Hoover does, Bessemer does. You know, even if it's a plan to say we're gonna make sure each side of town we have rec centers that are up to date. They work park and rec yard. Some of the rec centers just got Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. And I like your futuristic mindset, because I try to have one too. Creativity, I think, has been missing with our leaders. You know, not just the planning part, but just sometimes you just gotta be creative. Like, you see what Big Homie got on? He got on the J's, he got on the jeans, with it. You know, sometimes you just gotta do stuff outside the box. So my question right here is a question of defense. Clearly, we've lost the waterworks. Some people say it may be a takeover with the police department. As city council members, because you guys are a little bit more knowledgeable on this than me and Big Homie would be, if they try to take over the police department, or if you was in the city council and there was an opportunity to stop the waterworks, is it something you think as city council members you guys could have done differently? Or if you do get in office, if they try to do another takeover, was the airport or anything else, is there anything you guys can do, you think, to actually stop it?
You got to have an administration that wanted to stop it. You understand?
No, I understand.
It's been said that they knew about it or they did not know about it. But how, if you run in a multi-billion-dollar city, you don't know that somebody's coming in your back door trying to get your water? If you got a lobbyist, that's their job, to inform you. Then you got other people who are very familiar with the process. You got state representatives. You mean to tell me nobody knew this was coming? And they've been trying to do this since what,
Since Richard Arrington became mayor.
since 80 or something like that, they've been trying to do this?
So is there anything a city council person, this is my question.
So I was gonna bag up, I went down to Montgomery every time. And I wanted, not just cause I'm running, but I didn't see us come together. The Birmingham Waterworks just doesn't service Birmingham in this area. I felt like our leadership, and I'm saying this even with the Birmingham Airport,
Right.
even though it says Birmingham, everybody in this region, whether it's in Birmingham or not, we should all come. If I'm the council person and Lonnie's the council person, I would be advocating with the mayor and everybody, let's get every city in this region together, because all of us use this airport.
Right.
And if we go down collectively and speak as a voice, and we would have done that about the waterworks, because they pay lobbyists.
Bring it.
And I'm gonna be straightforward. They said it. Some people said they didn't know, but they had to know because they just voted on the budget, and they got the same lobbyists in there.
Right.
And I heard that the lobbyists told them what was happening.
And you had 2 councilmen that went down there.
Right. So that's the thing that the citizens don't realize. They pay lobbyists. So that's what the lobbyist's job is, to tell them what's coming. And I also, in my job, because, Lonnie, if you remember, was it 4 years ago they were trying to do it, and we met at Lawson State, John Rogers, we talked about a plan.
He told us anyway.
And we went live, it wasn't a secret meeting, and before it happened, we worked together. But this time, it just wasn't. So one of the things I would say is you got that unity. That's where it comes into place.
That's
You
right.
didn't.
Both of y'all here together.
You didn't have. And let me be fair. You didn't have, and you still don't have unity. I'm not talking, but we're still under attack. So to sit there
Right.
and lose an asset that the only other asset in the state that is worth more than the Birmingham Waterworks is the Alabama Power. We just sitting by quietly. It's not just about a lawsuit. It's about, to me, organizing the public, the people. You know, if this takeover, I've told people, your water bill gonna go up because the people that's on the board, they're spending.
Mine already went up $100.
Wow.
Yeah, already. I
So
don't know why.
so the airport, I think, will be
Yeah.
under attack. The
Yeah.
water,
It's an international
and I
airport.
believe the police
Yeah, it's
department.
coming. It's there.
But I
Yeah.
think we're not.
That's next.
I think we're not proactive.
They already got a bill out.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they have a bill that's in Montgomery, and they had a super majority. And we have to have honest conversations. I've heard people say, "We're going to," what's the word they use, Lonnie? Compromise.
Yeah.
You can't compromise when somebody's trying to take everything from you.
If somebody trying to take your house, you gonna stand, you gonna get everybody you can, stand in front of the door. But nobody did that. You had two councilmen that went down there, Hunter Williams and Darrell O'Quinn. The other ones didn't go until we started making noise about it.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, oh, we were that. No, you wasn't. They came out and did this little pseudo conference thing right there in front of the building. Didn't say nothing, and they politicked and walked off. The problem is we're too quiet.
Yeah.
The problem is we think we can make a Facebook post and it's gonna go viral and it's gonna fix it. We are dead wrong. If you're not looking at right now, Texas is trying to arrest some politicians because they left because they're trying to stop them from making 5 new seats.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Texas is not as prejudiced as people think they are.
Right.
It's just certain people. You got a man in there just like you got these politicians. Larry Langford built everything that's in Birmingham right now. Right?
Right.
So what's now? What's next? You know why nothing's been built? Because nobody has a vision for it. I keep saying that because we're losing now.
Yeah.
Right? It really should have been a white mayor running this term. But because of other stuff that happened, that's why it's not. 29, you're going to have a white mayor running.
You think so?
Guaranteed. Guaranteed. And they'll win.
What do y'all think it's gonna take to get the voter turnout to come up?
Do what Stacey Abrams. You can't talk. Who's that? Darrell Williams said our kids can only swim every 4 years during the election season. Pool's been closed every year. Then all of a sudden, because noise was being made, there's 99,000 people right here.
Yeah.
That's enough to elect a mayor, 4 city council, 4 school board, 7 state reps, 2 county commissioners, and 3 state senators. Just off the west side. You ain't even went to the east side yet, where those boxes are huge. You got 7,000 voter boxes over there. If everybody came out their house, we're going to vote. What you think they're going to do?
So you think the solution is to register more people to vote? You think we
You got
just-
140-some thousand
Yeah,
people.
we that's not our problem in Birmingham.
Right. Well, that's what I was gonna say. You think the issue is to register more people to vote, or you think people aren't voting? Because again, as a citizen, and I could be wrong, it just seems to me that there is a disconnect because politicians aren't getting along, because people being promised so many times by so many different administrations, whether it's city council, whether it's mayor,
Yes.
and some just say, I'm just gonna take my ball and go
Yes.
home. I'm good. Do y'all think that's the case, or do you think it's a situation where we need to get out here and register more people to vote in the city?
Why do you vote?
I vote because I care, and I kind of have PTSD from being raised with my grandmother, my great aunts and uncle. Like,
It's instilled.
yeah.
And the people who vote, it's instilled in them.
Right.
My son is vote for the first time this time.
Yeah.
Why should he vote? Besides me being running for office, why should he vote?
His future depends on it in a lot of ways.
Now, who have you seen go after the young vote?
Say it again. Right.
Because first thing they say, your strategies, most political strategies is young people don't vote. Go after the super voters.
So the Republicans go out for the young people.
And they
Well, that's
get,
what they did.
No, they've been trained up.
yeah, they
Voting is the freest expression of America that you can have.
Trump's son is the one that told him to go on the Joe Rogan show.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan, his average views like what 3-5 million, and allegedly Kamala Harris, she was given opportunity, she didn't go, and some people think that they may have played a role in the election. And his son, Trump's son, is what 19, something like that, yeah. So young people have always, in my opinion, influenced.
Young people was the civil rights. That's who really did the civil rights.
That's why I would tell you, it started with the young generation. So, like, older people, we dying out, then you need the young generation to come in and try to fill this gap. Because if you don't fill this gap, after we gone, it's going to be dead.
So that's part of my platform. I talk about it a lot. I used to be the City of Birmingham swim team coach. Birmingham has to learn to stop making everything political. When I coached the City of Birmingham swim team, I didn't have no mayor, no council. They did their budget. We ran 17 pools. I'll give an example of something that's turned political, and I just watch it, and it's insane to me. The East Lake, when they put the fish in the... the mindset, when it was set up, I forgot Stanley last name, he set it up, but we would open it up when the pools were open. So it was like a family time where you would go swimming if you wanted to go fishing. And what we did, we had the record of most people coming swimming. That was a goal of family time. Now we've turned that into who's ever in that district, that's the council person doing it. No, that's not. That idea didn't come from a council person. My point of saying all that is that young people are moving away because when you go to Hoover, you don't have to have this conversation.
Right.
When you go to Fultondale, you don't have to have this conversation. I've been telling people we have to have a true plan, not just tearing down houses. Because once you tear the house down, the grass gonna grow up. The insane part, if you know you're tearing the house, if you're gonna pay $200,000 or $300 for a house, because our property value is going up in Birmingham, but you can go over to Fultondale and pay $300,000, and your park is up to date. There's not gonna be the vacant lot next to you. You're gonna have stores, grocery stores, and things near you. We have to have real conversations in Birmingham. We have far too long, especially growing up on the western side. Back in the day, the backside of Ensley had a store, Wylam had a store, I want to say Pratt had a store, but where they were situated. Okay, I understand, okay, that's gone. You say, Richard, where do we start? We got to start with a conversation. We got to stop making excuses because we're losing. The young people are not voting. What I'm watching them do is work their job, and they go into the other places where they feel like, hey, I don't have to fight this battle.
Right. I do got a question. Young people is voting, but not in this city because they move out to different. The younger people moving out to the Hoover area,
Yeah.
and they go to vote over there in their campaign. Pleasant Grove, they all over. People who born in the city, they move out.
Right.
They move out of the city, then they go vote in them cities and stuff.
Right.
And stuff, right. That's how I feel like they take the young people because they get them in apartments over there, like they stay in Hoover, they'll live over there. Then boom, they start paying taxes and voting for who they want over in that county. They start going to communities, meetings and stuff. It's crazy though.
I think
But never did it in Birmingham.
I think Birmingham, to a certain degree, in its own way, has manipulated young people in a bad way. And the reason why I said it is because you've had some young people come with some great ideas, and you kind of touched on it. You didn't come out flat out and say it, but you kind of touched on it. I've been at city council meetings where some young people came up with great ideas in front of the city council, in front of the mayor's office, and they looked at the ideas and they didn't really pay them any attention. But then, months later, they tried to come back and finessing. Some people arguably say try to steal it. You know what I'm saying? You got some young people that's again come up with good ideas and presented these ideas and was passionate about voting, passionate about being an activist, passionate about being out here. And because of the old regime of Birmingham, oh yeah, you too young, you too this. That's why I was happy we was able to get Jeremy LePage on here to where somebody like him say, you know what, I'm gonna move to Huntsville, I'm gonna move to Texas, I'm gonna move to Atlanta, and next thing you know, he may be a state representative somewhere like
Right.
that. So I think Birmingham, and I know some of the younger candidates have caught a little scrutiny because, you know, we got one in Fairfield, I think he's 18 running. You got Jeremy 26 running. I think it's another young guy like 23 or something like that. But I feel like that Birmingham more than ever now, even if these young people don't get elected, we've got to, you know, put them in somebody's cubby hole, you know, to be developed, because this is really our future. And we've lost too many young people to other cities in Birmingham, which goes along with losing the people in the communities like you talking about.
Right. So I know one of my ideas is creating a youth advisory board as a council person for District 9.
Excellent idea.
And get them engaged, but also get that brain to what they want to see, to get them to move back, you know, because the one thing consistent, I don't think about crime the way people do. I listen to what the constituents say, knocking on doors. It was a senior and a youth said they were afraid to go outside. There's two different generations. So and we all know this. What we do is we get into this conversation in Birmingham about whose fault is it. But we got a problem. Because if they both feel like it, think about it, that senior is at a point in their life to where we don't know how longer they're going to be here, and that youth is going to move away. So I started thinking about solutions. What can we do? And it's hard. When you listen, Jeremy LePage, let's take him for example. He was on a talk show, and the first thing one of the callers did is they asked him a question as if he didn't know the answer.
Right.
And then they kind of chastised him.
Right.
And I remember when I first got into politics, they would do that to me. And now, 20 years later, they still even running. I've been called a little boy. I'm a dad. I'm a husband. I got kids. You know, you listen to it is what we do to each other, and it doesn't make the situation. And I've watched the other young guy running in District 8. He made a mistake.
Right.
I mean, we've had how many politicians have we had that are older that made mistakes,
Right.
and they came back and ran, and we didn't hold it against them.
Right.
You know, it's things that we're doing to each other.
And they made awful mistakes.
Yes. You know, some have went to jail,
Yeah.
and we brought them back. But I think, you know, it's a good soundbite when they say the children are the future.
Right.
But we're at that point in time when you see your population going from 1 to 4. I was telling somebody today, we made some horrible decisions when it comes to population. If you think about, we started in the city with Central City, and we closed it, and then we moved Center Point, let them become their own city. There was suburban Birmingham. When the tornadoes hit in Pratt City and that area, we just thought there's no housing plan. Even now, it's election season. We said we're going to build some houses. No, we need to have a true plan. The area where I grew up in Ensley by council, they said that, hey, it floods, we're going to tear the houses down and build it. So you lost population. And if you just go through different areas, it's hit us west end. You know, even though I'm running in District 9, I drive the whole city. You see it. So one of the things they try to make you do is cause Lonnie is running in District 7 as if Lonnie don't drive in District 9. I'm running in District 9 like the crossplex. I don't see that my mother and father, I grew Central Park, how that area has went down. What's the plan? We have to have a plan. You know, and I'm saying to everybody listening, the voters that have given up, because I've had people say, I was giving up, I wasn't going to vote until I heard you. So I would say, I believe that people want to vote. I think as candidates, we have to be honest and not make it personal. There are a lot of people running that have a personal vendetta of something that person that's in office did to them. I know for me, none of these people are the office of my friend. They're just supposed to be serving the people. But I'm running and looking at them saying, hey, I have to be a voice for the voiceless and also provide hope because we've suffered for so long. And their youth, they're very boisterous. Listen to Jeremy LePage. We should be commending him. Scott, what's the other guy? Justin Smith. He should be saluted. The young man that's running, that graduated from Ramsey. We should salute them and also embrace them, not dictate them to support us, but let them become their own man and woman.
Amen.
So. When you go to college or you get a better job and you do better, right? They start talking about equity in home. Well, if you know District 7, 8, 9 the equity's not there. But if you get you and a couple more of your friends and start building up a neighborhood, the equity comes, right? Like it is now. But you're looking at, okay, I can get $10,000 here, but I can get 50 to 100 over here. Where you gonna go once you learn about it?
Yeah.
That's why they're moving out. There's no reason. Most people are not gonna come in. They're not in love with their neighborhood like a lot of the older people are. You talk to older people. I had a voter who said, I've been here since 1974, and they only paved my road one time. And when they paved it, they paved one side of the road and then paved the other side, never came back. Right? Well, the kids grow up, they see that. If I'm making the average, if you make good $50,000, $60,000, you can move basically almost all over the city kind of thing.
Right.
That's what they're doing. Once they get better, they gonna get out. But again, if you say West End got all these nice houses or that can be built up like the Mexicans are doing now. That's literally what they're doing. When you go in there, you seeing them rebuilding these houses. That's not racist. That's just a fact.
Right.
Inslee, Roosevelt City. Look at West Goldwild. Those houses are beautiful, man. But it's an older neighborhood. Riley hasn't had a home built since 1998. They got 40 empty lots.
But I had to look at it like this too. We just had to take pride in our neighborhood.
Yes.
And like, you're gonna see the white community, they take pride. These other communities, these people take pride of their communities, and they hold accountable for their communities. So us as black people, we had to learn how to take like my grandma and them. They took pride of their community.
But we got a lot of renters.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah, we got a lot of renters, and I'm gonna tell you the other thing: running, knocking on doors, talking to people. We have a lot of senior citizens in their 70s, 80s, 90s, and they pay somebody that can afford it to cut their grass. I'm not gonna say this person's name, but she goes to church with me. She lives in my district. Her house next to it is 2 vacant lots. The grass is up, so for almost 2 years, when I found out, I would call the city to try to get them to cut it. Then it's a house next to her that is abandoned, and the house is falling apart. So you can see the stuff. But knocking, what I've been thinking about, what's the solution? But I also said running, I have to tell the story, because I'm not running into a lot of young people. I get excited when I see, young families. I met a young lady, Sipco Finley, but she told me, I'm listening to you, and we're talking about the pools, investing in the youth, and she said, if you don't win, I'm hearing what you're saying, I'm moving, because I can move to Fultondale, and we don't even have to have this conversation. She's the one who told me, it's insane to me that you're having to run to say what you're saying when I can move to these other places, and it's there.
Remember we met that young lady who said she lived in Fultondale.
Yeah.
And she was young. She said she ain't coming back. And why should a person come? We love where we are. That's why we where we are. But if I got an option, my kids don't know the district. You know what I mean? I grew up in it. That don't mean they do.
Right.
So I got a question again back to the unity thing. I believe that win or lose, neither one of y'all aren't going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? One of the problems is every time
I might run off. Go ahead.
And what I mean by that, you still gonna do your community work. You still gonna be, in the fight, for what's right and trying to help people. But we all know for a fact, and I say this in the most respectful way. You've got 8 or 9 people running for mayor. You've got 8 or 9 people running for District 8. You got some people. You got a lot of people running. I'll say it like that. Some of these people will never probably see them again.
No.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, and there's their right to actually run. With this unity thing, if you guys were to lose, to contribute to the unity, would you work with the winner? Because I think that is also very, very important.
That's a hard.
Would you attempt to work with the winner?
She have to apologize to me.
So,
I'm just honest. I'm sorry. I don't belong in politics. I'm honest. My opponent and I haven't spoken to each other really since 2019. Here's why. I can work with anybody. I really can. we were in a forum. I ran in 21. We were in a forum, and I said the current administration and the current mayor were both the presidents of the school board. Am I right?
That's true.
Correct. I said that when they elevated to the mayor and the city council, both of them chose not to give any money to the school system. They zeroed the budget out. That was the first time, right, in Birmingham that happened. So she stopped talking to me. But isn't that the truth?
So let me ask you this. Is there anything you think can be done? Because as Richard said, and I agree, people do have to give something to get something, and we've all got to work together. I'm not even a politician. I'm trying to do my part. Big homie trying to do his part. You definitely trying to do your part. Richard trying to do his part. At this point, because it's been 5 years, and I'm a banker. After 7 years, stuff drop off your credit report. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you. I'm with you.
So I just think after 5 years, and a lot of people I know respect you. You know what I'm saying? And I think they respect her. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in a high regard. I mean, because otherwise she wouldn't be
in office.
In office. So but I just think more than ever, like right now, and I don't want to take over the show, but if you're a city council, if you're a county commissioner, if you're a state representative, if you're a mayor, at this point, all this stuff has got to end. You know what I'm saying? All these internal beefs, it's got to end right now. You know what I'm saying? You think these Republicans in Montgomery is not looking at this, and I'm not talking about just with the mayor and city council people here locally. I'm even talking about people like us that's running. You know what I'm saying? If we lose, just like you said about Hoover, we've all got to figure out a way where we can let bygones be bygones. You know what I'm saying? Some of my best friends are people I've had major issues with, including fight. All those probably group of cousins used to fight all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I just think, like right now, after this election, we've got to figure out a way to reset the clock in Birmingham to where people can get along. And this is from state representatives, the House people in Alabama, to the Democratic Party, period, to the city council, mayor, and the county commissioners. Because, even as a social media influencer, I hear a lot of things, and people perceive that I'm going with somebody just because I do a video. And I do a video with everybody, every club, everywhere, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we walking and talking, we riding and sliding. So what I'm saying is now I think is the time, win, lose, or draw, August 27th, we have a total Birmingham peace treaty. You know what I'm saying?
Mine is a little different than Richard.
Yeah.
I got a nonprofit called The Effective Family. I work with gun and gang violence. But because I run for office, they figure whatever I'm doing is not to help my nonprofit, it's to help my political campaign. I fed kids at Arrington, 450 kids. And the only politician that has ever given me money to this day has been Sandra Little Brown when she was county commissioner. Now, how long ago was that?
Right. And
right?
I believe you.
So I would literally have to say, I'll have to give up my children. I'm not running for office. You can have my kids if I run for office. Because other than that, they're going to think I'm running for office, so they won't help me.
I believe that. But we need to talk to the constituents to change that narrative too.
See, you're thinking with your mind.
No. What I'm telling you is though people have thought I'm running for office because I've done certain things. That's just how they think. He must be running for something. Like when I started the social media thing, people thought that I was actually running for something. You know what I'm saying? When I was going to city council meetings, they thought I was running for something. Now I did push for the review board real hard. I did push for gas prices to be lowered. It's some individual things I'm trying to do. But what I'm saying is that's just the nature of the beast. And I think as mature men and mature adults, and leaders, because we all are leaders in our own way, I think at some point we got to swallow our pride, and I hope that starts August 27th.
You want me? I was gonna say, I said this, and it's not popular, but we have to say it. A lot of the last couple of cycles, it's the way Birmingham politics when people run. You got a lot of outside influence that give money.
Right.
So what happens? A lot of people drop off because a lot of people put in races that are not really for Birmingham. I'm just gonna be straightforward.
Explain it.
So when it's over with, I'm willing to work with anybody. But I will also say this: I've been doing the work.
Yeah.
Where have they been? So I'm challenging people.
I got a question though.
Uh-huh.
I feel like, even though politicians, the mayor and everything, but the people still have the power.
Yes.
Right. You can't overthrow the people. The only way you can overthrow the people is to get them not interested in stuff like this.
And that's what they do.
It's about the people.
Right.
The people had to overthrow the power. People had to take accountability of things instead of waiting on somebody to get them the hand out.
Yeah.
We look. I can work with anybody, bro.
Yeah.
But it's designed. Kwame Kilpatrick, the old mayor of Detroit said, if your downtown looks good and your neighborhoods don't, that's by design.
Right.
It is.
One of my favorite rap groups is The Coup. One of the songs is Fat Cat, Bigger Fish. When the mayor is talking to Mr. Coca-Cola, and the Coca-Cola man is telling them, hey, do this, do that, do that, make it look bad so the property value can drop. That's what we're doing here. Jesse Jackson said in a speech called Lil David, where you got 30,000 votes to win, and you got 100,000 teenagers over here that could vote, that wasn't touched. You get what I'm saying? All this stuff is still designed. Why did they take it off the presidential cycle? Because it's easier to handle 20,000 than it is 200,000.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? So any one of us that's running, bro. I left in 21. I ran in 21, and I left. And now it's saying that I left because I was hurt and my feelings this.
They say you left where?
I left Birmingham. I moved to Houston. You know why I moved to Houston? Because my brother, who's a retired Marine, a war veteran, and his wife, a retired Navy, started a black appraisal business in Houston, the only black firm. And if anybody know about appraisal, you just can't go get in that field. You have to have a supervisor,
Right.
which my brother did. He called my brother in Georgia. My uncle went down, and we moved to Houston. We were doing great. And then they raised the interest rate, and it killed Texas within a month.
Wow.
So Texas is expensive. Then I still had my house in Birmingham. So what am I gonna do? We're not doing any houses right now. I come back home. I didn't run. I went to support a war veteran. I went to support a black business who happened to be my brother. You get what I'm saying?
I get it.
Now would I have come back? If God probably wanted me, but evidently he wanted me to come back here.
Right. Well, it's always gonna be lies, and that's like I said. That's why I respect about both of y'all. I know y'all aren't some people just, running, just to run,
Man, I can say about two of us because we talk all the time. We genuinely care about Birmingham. We genuinely, and we know the people who don't genuinely care. I'm trying to be calm, man, because politics get me up, but we know too many people who name a poor politician in Birmingham right now. Then name something that will sustain itself 5 years after they leave. You get what I'm saying? What is going on? Inslee has an entertainment district, just like the South Side.
What line?
They
Man,
got,
what line is growing up?
yeah, because they visit. This guy called me, and I'm not trying to be funny about it. He said, Lonnie, two gay guys moved across the street from me. I said, yeah. Then I stopped for a second. I said, I'm waiting on him to say something. He was like, I'm like, boy, your property value finna go up. And I'm not trying to be funny.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. Because they got the income to do it. They got the disposable income. They got in there and built their house up. And then the whole street came. That's just because if you got the disposable income, you got the vision to do something, and you got a want and desire to want a better neighborhood, you went to the poorest neighborhood. Because you think about it, Avondale sits here, but also Avondale sits across the street in the projects, doesn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Across the tracks.
Across the track. You're talking about a real side of a track, right?
Right.
Birmingham is like that all over. Name someplace, really. When I knock on doors, I'm not going through high bushes. I'm going through beautiful lawns. I'm going through people who they just don't have a lot of money to make their house look like a a mansion.
Right.
But if you think about it, I haven't been to a bad neighborhood yet. Now they got things like on Viola Avenue in Graceville Heights,
Right.
where they have the edge on out in the street
Right.
because the grass needs to be cut on the corners, right?
Right.
We want basic city services in a lot of these places,
Right.
but where are they?
Now,
It's the
say
same-
it again, Lonnie. Bag up what you said it again, because I think that's the part. A lot of times, I'm gonna be fair to politicians and the people who they try to take what we say. Basic city service.
Basic city service. We got East Lake. You got a 10 block radius of concrete barriers blocking every street in a neighborhood over there. And then you know what I saw when I was picking up my son? My boys were going to private school right over in there. You know what I saw? A police chase inside of the barriers because the car couldn't get out. So they chased and they finally caught him on the other end of the street down there. They had to hit him. But they went through the neighborhood, they trying to call protect. How you gonna stop prostitution with concrete barriers? This is what they saying, that's what they're for. But you got all the streets all the way up Oporto. And you know the one street that you come in now? Guess what happened one day? There was a fire, so that brought in a what? A fire truck. Then an ambulance was coming the other way, and the police was coming. So now you got all this emergency right here in this one particular place. The only way to get out the neighborhood. So what if now somebody has an asthma attack or a heart attack? How they gonna get to the people? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
This is what we're doing in our. Bump that. Forget I just said that. Put them concrete blocks over in Mount Brook and see what happens.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it won't happen.
It ain't gonna last.
Oh, it ain't gonna happen.
It ain't gonna last.
Let me say this. When we had the mass shooting on the south side,
Yeah.
and I try to tell people it's a fact. You saw a different response.
Sure did.
When it happened on the north side, we shut the building down. And we still to this day ain't found who shot up the north side. But we okay because we found out who shot up the south side, so we
It's a big
say.
issue, especially with
It's supposed to be the same guy.
white people get into. It's in a white neighborhood area. They're gonna take real accountable things.
Yeah.
They're gonna hit the world news. Now you hit the world news. Oh yeah, somebody got to get punished for this.
I got attacked on the south side by a homeless guy.
You sure did.
Straight up.
He did.
He walked up, he walked out, and he walked back in, he put his food down. When he put his food down, he looked up, he locked eyes with me. He never stopped from that point on. He grabbed his food, looking at me. He walked up, and it was four of us. When he walked past his wife, she jumped like she got it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
As he coming by, he put his food down right behind me. Immediately, the minute he put his food down, he started swinging on me. He swung so hard I heard the wind. Y'all know what it sounds like. So I'm dunking, I get him off of me, right? We tussle. I had to end up, because he wouldn't stop. I had to put him up against the wall. That's when everybody want to come and help. I'm like, I don't know this dude. Get him, then they want to do it.
But tell who came to help.
That's what I'm going to say. As I'm getting him off of him,
Y'all
right?
gotta listen.
Cap with the blue hats. They came. The police came. The ambulance came. Everybody came. They were so shocked that first of all, it was two black guys. So they didn't know what to do. But when they got there, them jokers ran out the blue. I don't know where Cap came from. It was dark. They saw us though. But now would that happen over in West End, Ensley, Wilder?
No.
You understand what I'm saying? But do you see the protection
Yeah.
that's over there?
Yeah, I thought Cap, I'm just be straightforward. I've been talking about Cap for the longest. Nothing against him. But when you go to so I walk with a group of men every Sunday. And we walk originally from one Pratt Park, try to walk through Pratt. Couldn't be done. Sidewalks messed up, everything messed up. They said we're gonna go to Railroad Park. You go to Railroad Park, you can walk straight and go toward Avondale. You walk to the Rotary Club, it's beautiful. You can walk up the south side. But what we noticed was Cap cleans up everything.
They
So
clean
you had
up all
the city workers cleaning up, plus you had Cap. So when I saw that happen that night, I asked the Cap people, hey, when did y'all start doing this? They said, we do this. So I'm like, okay, why we can't get this pilot program
If your
going
car
on
break down,
in District 9? People been laughing at me, but I'm saying, how do we have because they were telling us originally that was just downtown. We were not downtown. We were on the south side. And they ran, and they did, and I'm going, okay, why can't we make sure this service is provided throughout the entire city? Why is it just this area?
Even if you put 2 in, District 9 and District 8,
But that's what I'm telling y'all. District 9 has an entertainment
Yeah, we had-
center.
they
All they
just-
got to do is bring the businesses down. It's already zoned
Well,
for.
they also took our opportunity zone.
Yeah.
Where it should have been in our distress areas, they put it with downtown. So if you want to do a business, you get the tax breaks and everything. Whereas it's made it harder in our areas. And I will say this, even though the crossplex, and I want people to understand, I love Birmingham. I'm visionary for Birmingham. The crossplex we own. We need to finish it because every dollar can leverage and go back into a lot of the issues. But we got to change our mindset because the budget is, the last 4 years, the budget growth has been the largest budget in the history of Birmingham. We have less people, but we're getting less services. That's what I put it at the foot of the council people because their job is to advocate. They shouldn't be passing a budget. If I can say this right now, whoever's mayor, I'm voting no. Because if we're not investing in infrastructure and things with our youth, not just during the election year. You're seeing things done different now because of an election year. We saw it last time. Then once it's over with,
You're going to see it again.
go right back to it.
And go ahead and do this before we wrap it up, man. I want to give a shout out with everybody can find you on my platform, with page they can find you and follow you.
Okay. You can look up Richard Franklin on Facebook, any social media. Also, Richard Franklin for Birmingham City Council, District 9. August 26th is fast approaching. Make sure you vote. And if you watch this show and you got a little hope, come on, let's work together. It's not just going to be me, about me. It's going to be about all of us in District 9.
I mean, 99 neighborhoods, 23 communities, 16 of those make up District 7. I'm asking you to let me be the one who advocate for you, the one who legislate for you, the one who pass a balanced budget for you. You can reach me at Malone Ignites from the website all the way through across social media. Man, just come on out, August 26th. Don't let the couch vote for you. Because if you do, we all gonna lose.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Corey P, you got something to say?
Well, I just wish both of y'all the best of luck. I know both of y'all aren't going anywhere, win or lose. And, again, to the people in office, for the people that win on August 26th and going forward, I think that our main thing right now with Birmingham, the Democratic Party, should be unity from, the state level to, again, the commissioner level to, again, the city council and the mayor and us as citizens, us as neighbors. We got to get this thing together and all get on the same page and end this war.
And you already know it's your boy Big Homie, man.